Hello, everyone. This is me, Ahmed El Garhi, and I will be your moderator for today's session. Today, we have Ms. Yusra Ismail, and she is HR manager in one of the most promising technology companies on MENA region and the United States. She has more than 10 years experience in diversified industries. MBA in Global Management from Isleska University. Also, she is certified trainer and coach. Ms. Yusra, the mic is yours.
Thank you very much. And I would like to thank everybody who's attending the session now. Let me start right away by telling you that it's going to be a journey. We are going to take it in 4 steps. As Dr. Ahmed introduced the sessions, it's going to be first, we're going to talk a little bit about how to secure yourself a job in a very competitive market. And then how to outstand by presenting yourself well in the CV, and how to present yourself in an interview after you're invited to an interview. And lastly, after you are hired, how are you gonna build up relations and succeed as an employee at this job. So the first step today on our journey will be divided into 2 parts. The first part is related to you as a person, the graduate or the undergraduate. And the second part will be related to the market. What type of markets we have to penetrate to be able to get a job. So for the part related to the person, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, how I started in the HR field, because it was a story that can inspire you, because I had many struggles as an undergrad and as a graduate till I decided that HR will be the field for me. And related to the second part, we have 2 types of markets: the advertised job market and the hidden job market. And it's very important that you understand this starting, I'm not sure if everybody's a graduate who's attending, or some of us are not graduates, but it's very important that you understand the 2 types of markets, so you'll be able to be ready for both of them, because it needs different skills to be able to compete in both of them. So let me start by giving you a brief about myself. When I was an undergrad, I was really active. I used to participate in many and different student activities. And part of doing this, and now I'm 15 years older, I'm graduated from 15 years ago, I know that doing this, and I didn't have an intention, and I wasn't doing this because I knew anything then, but I was active, as I was an active person, and I joined many activities. But looking back, I understood that doing this gave me an edge, because I was able to try myself in different roles. I worked as a public relations, as a sales, as a trainer, as an HR. It gave me an edge to try myself in different skill sets and different roles. And doing this as an undergrad, I can do it. But if you can imagine, if you are a graduate and you're doing this at a real job, like you're doing it for 2 months as an accountant and then leaving it for another job for 2 months. So doing this as an undergrad gives you an edge to try to understand more about what do you like to do. And I'm referring to this because I always say that this period of my life, I'm not going to say it's going to be lost, but as an undergrad, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with my life. And I'm sure many young people have the same feeling. They chose maybe a college or a major to study, and they are 100% sure this is what they want to do for the rest of their lives, and others have doubts. And I was one of the people who had doubts. I studied English literature. I loved it so much, but I knew that there is more that I can do, or this is not it for me. So as an undergrad, again, I was telling you, I used to join many student activities, and I was really active, and I went for internships. during the summer, I went for internships in different companies, and I didn't have connections in each company to let me in, but I went to each company and I applied, and I was really keen to make use of my summertime. So let's say that I had 4 years of college, and each year I was adding up information and knowledge for myself in different fields. And looking back at this period of time, experiment and getting more experience in different places led me, when I got my certificate and I graduated, I worked for a while in the customer service field, and it really gave me a lot of skills, because if you're communicating with someone and you can't see them, it's over the phone, and you're only leading the communication through voice. It gives you many skills on better communication, because most of the communication, if we're having the factors that's affecting communication on a pie chart, the hugest part will be on body language, and you're not seeing anybody through the phone. So this phase of my life was really helping me. And then I have decided after that HR is the field for me. Let me say that this this decision ends the phase of my life where I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, and it was all about experimentation and trying myself in different things. And when I decided that HR is going to be the field for me, I started the planning phase. This is the second phase I was talking about earlier, that as a person, you're going to have a part of your life where you're just experiencing a lot and you're not having any plans yet. And then the second part, which you're having a plan and you know exactly what you want to do. So I started making a plan of getting exactly what is the job description needed if I want to start as a human resource, as a professional HR person. And I remember getting all the job descriptions, all the knowledge needed, all the skills needed, and I started to study them very well, and I started to compare myself to this. So let's say I need to have communication skills, specific knowledge at HR, etc. And I realized I only have one of the three. So I started gaining the other two through courses, through shadowing. This will take me to the other part when I didn't really care to get money at first. I just cared to go and have an intern in a specific company to gain experience in HR. And let me tell you that one of the important things I believe of gaining knowledge is having a mentor. And I didn't have this privilege when I was young. So I was like always shadowing with everybody who I believed is good at HR. Because the first job I got was not even a job, it was an intern. And I spent all the time there and I didn't care what I'm doing as long as I'm learning. And time passed by and I started to get more knowledge, and I had really started to have a value in the HR field. And I'm just talking about the very start. And then I got promoted. I made sure to work in different industries to gain knowledge and experience. And years went by, and I've been working in managing people and helping people out for many years now. If we are going to take maybe a lesson learned from the two phases that I passed through, the first phase where I give myself the space to experiment and try different jobs and to go for interns. And I went for different models and I'm giving an example in Egypt because I'm based in Egypt. In college, we have many models that is imitating companies but in college, like you're going to be a CEO for a very small student activity, but you are acting as a CEO, so it's giving you the edge to try yourself in strategic thinking, decision making, delegation, all the skills that's needed from you and is expected from you when you join a company for real. Again, the lessons learned from this phase was that actually when I graduated, I had many skills that others lacked because they didn't give themselves this period of time of trial and error and trying different roles. For the second part, having a plan, I remember doing a CV and I approached people in companies and I was telling them why they should give me a chance to have an intern in their companies, because interns, if they have zero knowledge, it's going to be very challenging for the real employees to help them and get them to learn more. So I was trying to present myself as I'm going to waste your time. I'm going to actually help you and you're not going to pay anything because I want to learn, as if I'm paying for a course or something. The skill that I really appreciate having at a very young age was determination. I was determined because I'm not gonna tell you it was a piece of cake. I really approached many companies and some people didn't respond to my emails or my calls. Some others really met me, but they weren't. They didn't have the time or something. And let me remember, maybe it was almost over 50 calls or 50 trials to get an intern. And finally, I succeeded. So let me now go to the other part of the competition. It's the market itself. We have two types of markets that we have to be ready for to be able to get a job. The advertised job market is the one that we all know. It's the one where you go to the recruitment platform. Again, I'm not quite sure which platforms you have, but here in Egypt, we have maybe, of course, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of the platforms that you can go and apply for a job and check for open vacancies. This is the very normal channel that you can get a job. And to be able to compete in this place, I consider it as a competition. You have to be ready with a very, very well organized CV that's presenting your skills and presenting yourself as a very good caliber related to the skills and the job description needed and the role needed. Okay, how about the other part? It's called the hidden job market. If you can think with me before I reveal what does it mean, if you can write in the comments, what do you think is a hidden job market means? I'm going to give you a minute. If anybody wants to join, maybe give me their opinion or input about what is a hidden job market. What does it mean? Okay, we have a very good, some very good definitions here. Thank you, guys. Exactly, a hidden job market. It's like the jobs that are not advertised on any platform. Exactly, it's not published. And why do employers go for this market that they have a job role and they don't advertise it? There are two main reasons. The first reason is to avoid all the costs and the fees that they pay for when they use one of the platforms, and usually employers pay to get their jobs published, And for HR, we have to calculate the cost that we invest in all the steps we're doing to get an employee, starting from the fees for the platform, the time of the interview. If I'm an HR generalist and I'm doing the interview and it goes for 1 hour, so I'm paying 1 hour of my time, of my salary for this interview, and this is part of the cost spent on the interviewing process, and many other costs that's calculated. And usually it's you're not only interviewing one, you're interviewing many other calibers, plus assessments. Many companies use platforms for online assessments. And for example, one of the platforms called HR Avatar, this one, it costs you $40 per exam. So you can imagine all the costs that the employer has to go through to be able to find the best caliber. Another reason that lets employers go for this market, the hidden market, is that, and I'm going to give you an example to understand the mentality that leads them to take this decision. Remember, just imagine if you're buying a mobile phone, a new mobile phone, and most people will go and take their friends' opinions and ask them, okay, tell me, what is the mobile phone that you've got? Give me a review about it. Tell me how it's performing with you. And they are gaining experience from or getting opinions from their friends and colleagues. Another example, the same example, if you're using all Facebook, you're gonna see that Facebook started to put recommendations for you to buy stuff based on your friends' choices. Like you're gonna find an ad on Facebook and it's giving you a small comment at the top of the ad that your friend so-and-so bought from this marketplace, and we believe that you're gonna like the stuff as well. The two examples give you an idea of how people prefer to have a review or a referral on somebody you already know, or from somebody you already know. A hidden job market is getting a job through a referral. That I know, I work for a company and I know that this place is hiring now. So you ask me if I'm interested to apply, and I give you my CV and you put it give it to the HR to get me through the hiring process. Like I'm referring you because I have worked with you. I know exactly how you're performing and I'm sure that you're good caliber. So I'm referring you to the company I'm working for. Most people in the companies will feel more comfortable hiring someone through a referral because it's going to save time for me to try you. In Egypt here, yes, more trusted applicants. Not necessarily more trusted, but as I was saying, in Egypt here, at the start of the contract, when you're working in a company, you have a 3 months trial period. It's called the probation period. I'm giving you all the benefits, everything, but I'm as well giving myself a space that if I realize that you weren't the employee I hired, not the skills that you were telling me about, because a lot of people can sell themselves very well at the interview, but based on lies. Like he's saying, I'm very good at communication, but he's actually not good. So I'm giving myself as an employer a space of 3 months to try you out, and then you are 100% fully hired and you have a contract of 1 year to continue with me. So as a referral, I'm kind of having already an idea about how are you performing as an employee. And this is exactly what is a hidden job market all about. So as a graduate, how I'm going to be able to get through this hidden job market if I'm not connected? So going back to how to be able to get a job at this very, very competitive job market. And I believe it's very competitive because it's not advertised. You don't have the chance to compete unless you are invited or referred by someone. And the key to be able to do this is start at any time. So I don't want to tell you, of course, it's better to start as an undergrad, but you can start at any time, is to build connections. How are you going to build connections? It's through getting to know more people in student activities, knowing your professors. I'm talking about everybody around you. It's a skill how to build good connections with everybody. Your professors at college, joining student activities and knowing people around you, not just going there, attending lectures and doing nothing, but attending the lectures and not communicating, not participating, joining interns. And by the way, many people join interns, but as I was telling you, they are just sitting there on their desks, doing nothing, communicating with nobody. So like, if I'm the one responsible for their intern, and you've asked me after they have left about them, maybe I don't even remember them. They didn't leave like something memorable about them. So how do you build a connection, or how do you build a good relation with somebody? So after, for example, if you've been an intern at my company and you are graduated now and you have left an impact, I remember you very well. And then I know I'm hiring the same position that you have been trained on. I'm going to give you a call. Tell me, are you looking for a job, or are you hired by now? And if you're not hired, I'm going to invite you for an interview. This is part of having good connections. And how do you do that? Let me take you back to the experimentation phase I have been talking about, where you are experimenting and you're experiencing and you're trying to understand yourself well in different roles and different stuff. I need you to be able to know your edge. Let's say that you as a person is a brand, and you need to understand what's your edge, meaning what are your positive sides, what makes you different from everybody around you. One of the steps I've took to be able to do this is I used to have self-assessments. One of the very best self-assessments I like is called Myers-Briggs. The website is called 16 Personalities. I can share the website on the chat. If you got to this website and you've answered around 45 questions, it's going to give you an insight about your personality sides, different sides of your personality. You as a strengths and weaknesses, you as a friend, you as an employee, everything. It's most of people who've done this assessment, they say it's 90% correct. It applies to them. Maybe we don't have all the time in the world to try everything, but we can help ourselves by doing such assessments, getting feedback from your professors, from your friends, to know exactly what are the edges, what is the thing that makes you stand out as a person. And you need to start working on building yourself as a brand. And I'm not talking about something fancy. I'm just saying that you have to understand yourself very well, to have like your features. You need to understand your features very well, your personality features very well, and you start to tell your story. And this is very important. It is that you know how to tell your story. If you are in an internship, for example, at a company, and Nobody knows anything about you. Nobody knows who are you, what do you like, what hobbies do you like, if you work, if you have any, if you play any sports, versus someone who's telling their story. And by story means, who are you? What are your values? What do you like? What you don't like? What are you good at? This opens up different chances for you, and not only for the job, it's for everything else. So back to what I was saying. Now, how are you going to do this? After you understand yourself, you give yourself all the places to go and experiment and get exposure to different situations. You have to sit down and have a notebook and write down the values, write down your edges, positives, negatives, everything, and start working on the negatives, start to enhance the positives, and formulate a story that you can share. Of course, it's not going to be like a recorded story, but at least you know what's the story that you have in life, what makes you different. For example, I can give you a little part about how I'm telling my story. I am very passionate about psychology, and I used, as a young girl like 13, 14 years old, to read huge books of psychology. And I was really into this, that when I was going to school, I used to try the tricks, the psychological tricks on my teachers and my colleagues. And it's not something tricky. It's just a very simple stuff in psychology. Like, for example, if anybody here is interested in psychology, they're telling you, if you're talking to someone and they looked right up, he's just remembering, and if it's to the right, left up, he's just creating stories just to know if they're lying or not, stuff like this. And I had this huge passion when I was young. And I loved anything related to people, anything related to helping people, understanding people more. And this was the very start of that helped me later on to realize that HR is the field for me, because I have the space to help people out, to understand people through interviews. Everything is related to people in HR. And I grew up. So, sorry guys for the interruption. So as I was telling you, and I got through years, and starting like high school, I started to go on interns. I started to go, I worked as a sales. I remember I went to sell stuff, and I was experimenting if my psychology tricks is going to help me to negotiate and convince people to buy from me. It's all revolving around psychology, understanding people, helping people out. And then I got to college. I was really active, and you know the rest of the story. This is part of my story. People know about me that I like psychology to that extent since I was a little girl, and that I love helping people. And there are other sides of my story that I didn't share with you, but I believe if we have more time or we are working together, you're going to know more about me, more and more. And the part of having a strong brand is to understand yourself more than anybody else around you. Be open to get feedback, but you have to believe that you know yourself better than anybody. And the feedback, it's going to help you to know how you are seen externally. So if people see you differently than you actually are, you're going to work on fixing this. Again, so now you understand yourself. You are building good connections at work, at college, and with your professors, etc. You are building good connections when you are at different companies. Now you are a graduate, you are going to be having at least the edge of being referred to in job interviews in a hidden market that's not published on any platform. Now you are backing yourself in both markets. Regarding the advertised job market, we're gonna have more to talk about this next session, because we are going to talk about the CV, how you're gonna write the CV, how you're gonna present yourself on paper, and other platforms that are reflecting your personality and your career on LinkedIn, on the CV, stuff like this. Guys, I'm interested to know if you have any questions regarding the points that I have mentioned, if anything I have maybe missed or something. If you need to understand something more, you can ask on the comments or the chat or the questions. Okay, Yusuf is asking how to search for internships. Many companies, they have internships advertised on their websites and on Facebook. I have to tell you something. I was from the generation that before this generation. I was from the generation of 2005 and 6, and this was before the Facebook breakthrough. So now I believe you have more facilities and more tools to get opportunities more than that I had. So maybe I had this struggle of going to the companies and talking to people, stuff like this. But now you're going to check on Facebook. Many companies are very active on their Facebook pages, on social media, on their company websites. And again, if you are having any connections in a student activities, usually companies reach out for this type of people that they are very active and they are working on student activities. So I really encourage you all, if you have the chance to participate in a student activity, is to do so, because it's very important. Okay, let me check another question here. How could I get a remote internship opportunity which will get me employed in site after done with my internship period? No, I'm not quite sure if I understand. What do you mean by a remote internship opportunity? If you can explain more, that will be helpful. Yes, regarding your question, does these companies hire from all the countries? Well, it's based on the company that you are looking to work for. Another thing, maybe I forgot to tell you, that during my search, my job search, when I was still penetrating the market of HR, I had a list of maybe 10 to 15 companies that I am willing to work for. I am willing to go and present myself to help me and have an intern there. And my choice based on maybe the values that they present, maybe some people in the HR that I wanted to work with. So it's going to be up to you. You would decide which company that you're willing to go and approach and check if they have internships available for undergraduates or graduates. And by the way, not only internships, I'm talking about any opportunity that you can apply for. For example, many governmental entities offer youth to participate in activities. Like, for example, again, in Egypt here, we have the youth government is offering many opportunities for youth to participate in the youth forum, for example, to participate in organizing some forums for the government. So participate in anything that's letting you letting you to get exposure, to know more people. And to answer your question, to make sure I'm answering your question, you have to choose the company because it's based on the company's need. If a company only needs people from its own country, so it's not going to be hiring outside the country. If it's like something more multinational, it's going to be hiring in different offices. So it's based on what is your major, what is the career that you're looking for. So I have another question here. Okay, ma'am, how LinkedIn works for the fresh graduates? LinkedIn is the most professional place that you can connect with different people for a professional relation. So you will find you have to have a very good, well put together LinkedIn profile and CV, even you are an undergraduate, and you have to build it up with some of the stuff that you're doing. This is why I'm telling you, you have to make your years of college really rich, not only to concentrate on studies. And I know some of the faculties is not gonna give you this space because they are really maybe hard or something like medical school, but still at medical school, you will be going for, I believe, during the summer to work in hospitals. And correct me if I'm wrong, if I have here anybody in the medical field. So it's very important to have a well put together LinkedIn and CV, and we will be talking about this specifically next time about the CV. How to utilize this platform, LinkedIn or Indeed. LinkedIn, many professionals, including myself, I put a lot of opportunities, internships, job vacancies, many posts, many stuff that will be very helpful for undergraduates, students, and fresh graduates. Maybe I consider myself a mentor because I have been through a lot till I am now a well-developed professional. So, you have to follow people who are in the same field that you are willing to work in, and to make sure that your LinkedIn is really presentable and presenting your expertise, your skills, yourself as a fresh graduate or undergraduate. Another thing I remember now, again, to tell you, I believe that having a mentor is one of the very important things that will help you through your professional career. I didn't have this chance when I was younger, but I believe, for example, if you are studying at a specific faculty, you can approach one of your professors and ask them to be your mentor on a professional level. And many professors believe in this as well, and it's going to be their choice, by the way. You don't have, if you ask them to be your mentee, they can say, maybe I don't have the time, maybe I can help you on little occasions, but it's worth asking. If you found a professor that you really trust and you believe they are successful at the same field you're interested in, you can ask them to be your mentor, help you with some decisions that you may be taking throughout your career. I hope I answered your question. Let me try to read the rest. Okay, Ahmed Sheikh is asking about student internships internationally. Well, I'm not quite sure, but you can search. One of the very important skills for you to dig deeper in the market is to research, to make some search and look up companies' names, look up the opportunities offered in which countries. I believe there are a lot of opportunities, but you have to dig and search for it. How can we really deal with the issue of experience? We have always come across jobs, but asking for high experience level, and we always shy away. This has always kept hopes down. Yes, and I totally understand your point, because I had I had the same struggle because you have to give yourself the edge before you are graduated. You have to, I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing your name right, Amos. You have to give yourself the edge by putting yourself in places to gain experience, even as an undergraduate. And I'm not quite sure which faculty are you studying or you graduated from, but let's say if you are maybe an engineer, you need to go and ask companies to give you an opportunity for an intern. It's not going to be the easiest. It's not going to be a piece of cake, but you have to work and do effort to get the opportunity. And part of the skills that we are as well want to acquire is the business skill. Not only the technical skill, but the business skill. The business skill is how you're communicating, how you're presenting your like ideas, how you are helping people out, how you are delegating if you're a manager. And all of this is given a chance, you're going to be given a chance to acquire through imitating the business environment in student activities. Guys, I want you to share with me if you have student activities at your colleges in Nigeria and in different countries. Sure, Abdurrahman. I'm going to be sharing my LinkedIn profile, sure. Remote internships means working from home. Abu Bakr, remote internships doesn't apply for all the fields. For example, in HR, you may be able to have a remote internship. It's not going to be the best exposure, but you may have it because HR can be handled online. But if it's something technical, you have to be there. You have to be there to work with your hands, to watch and shadow other SMEs doing their job. Can I send you my CV to comment on? Sure. This is Haitham. And yes, sure, you can send it to me and stay tuned for next session. The next session, we're going to go through all the mistakes that we have in our CVs. I have checked over 20,000 CVs because I've been working in the HR field for over 12 years. And I as well worked in HR before I was a graduate in the student activities. So I have checked over 20,000 CVs. I have made many interviews. And I've seen many mistakes people are doing. Very smart young men and young women, and they were not presenting themselves in the best way to be chosen. And next session and the session after, the two sessions that are we're handling how to present yourself in a CV and in the interview, it's going to help you to be able to present yourself, because you may be having the knowledge, you may be having the skills, but you don't know how to show it. And HR, I promise, HR people really want you to help them in taking the right decision. Okay. How we can look for a mentor and what we should do if he refuses. Islam asks. So a mentor is a person with a good experience in the field that you want to work in, and you can meet them anywhere. I'll give you an example. When I was young, I didn't have this privilege of having a mentor, but later, years later, I'm a very keen person on studying and knowledge, and I've gained many certificates. I'm taking always courses on online platforms till now. I love studying and I love knowledge. And one of the courses I have been attending in the HR fields, I have found that the trainer is a mentor for me. His values, the way he's thinking, the way he's went through his life and career decisions. So after the course, it was a 3 days course, I went there and I approached him and I told him that I believe mentorship is a very important thing, and I'm still in the med phase of my career. It was like maybe 7 years ago, and I asked him if he got the time to have like a quick meeting, because at this time I was taking a decision in switching jobs. I got an offer from another company, and I didn't know how to take the decision. So I approached him and I asked him if he can help me take the decision, and he was open to the idea. And I went and met him, and he helped me out with the decision. And I asked him afterwards if he's okay if I refer to him whenever I have a tough situation, maybe I need his opinion in. And he said yes. If he said no, I don't have the time, it was okay, totally, it's his decision, and I'll totally respect this. And I would have looked up for another mentor. It's totally fine. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal at all, and give him a space to tell you if he got the time or not. And please don't, again, don't take it personal. Don't be pushy. If he said no, don't keep approaching him. It's totally fine, and you have to respect this. Okay, a friend told me about the harsh treatment from a company where he works in Kuwait. What are the regulatory bodies set aside for these issues, and how do we go about it? Okay, I hope I understand your question right. You mean that he's treated in a harsh way, and you are asking about if there are places to help him with, like, to take his right or something? If this is the question, if he is a foreigner, if he's not a Kuwaiti citizen, I believe the embassy will help him. I believe there should be a contract, he signing on it. If it's harsh to that extent, maybe going to the embassy will help. Again, I hope I understand the question correctly. I don't want to give a comment unless I really understand it. So if you can clarify, or if my answer is okay with you, just let me know. Some companies always ask you to drop your social media handles during interviews. What is the idea behind the request? You mean that they ask you for your Facebook account? Okay, this is, if this is your question, I believe this is a very tricky thing that a company will do, but I believe it's not 100% correct. Again, if I'm answering a different question, let me know. If I understood right, they are asking you for your Facebook account. I think companies will do that to check on your opinions, maybe. But to be honest, I don't think this is correct. No company I have ever worked for, or I've never heard about a company that would ask you about your Facebook account to check on your account, or maybe opinions of something. This is not correct. And let me know if they really do this. You can refuse, and you can refuse totally, because Facebook is a very personal account, and you can express your opinions freely. But I would recommend, if the company is basing their opinion or your Facebook account posts or stuff, it's not very good. It's not a very good company to join, to be honest. Which steps we should follow after graduation to find a job outside and inside the country? Okay. Now, at this period of time, we have an open market. You can apply on different platforms that's giving you a chance to apply for outside of your country jobs, on LinkedIn as well. Some people go for Dubai, for example, to apply for jobs there. There are companies, recruitment companies, that offer you to find you a job outside of your country. Egypt or whatever the country you are based in. So it all applies on all the jobs. You have to present yourself well to understand exactly what are they looking for. The job description, the values, you have to read the job ad very, very well and present yourself and put yourself together to be the best match for this job. If you're asking about the channels, as I've told you, many platforms offer, LinkedIn, many other platforms, companies that offer you to find you a job outside. And I knew personally people who went to Dubai, for example, and they found a job there when they are in the country itself. I hope I answered your question as well. Really appreciate it. We have to learn more with you. Do you need to know everything we have learned or just the basics? Do we need to know everything we have learned or just the basics? Abdel Fattah, if you can explain your question, I don't understand what you mean. Okay, let me go for the Q&As. I have here Abdul Rahman asking me the juicy information. Thank you. This is a question that I hope you can help me with. I have a LinkedIn profile and I want to ask it to take a summer training opportunity from the people who work in my field, but I don't know how to start the talk or ask, can you give me some tips, please? Sure. Okay. It's different ways you can do this. I'm not sure which country you are based in, but let me again give you an example in Egypt. We have something called job fairs where you have different companies come together at like a place. Okay, Egypt. Okay, very good. Job fairs in Egypt are held with different companies coming together and they are having booths. And in each booth, you will find HR persons from this company and they are offering the vacancies in their company. Okay, so if even you don't, if even the vacancy you're looking for is not presented or published in the book for the job fair, you just need to go there and socialize with them. It's very good if you have a CV ready. Okay, it's going to be very good if you have a CV ready. I was telling you that it's going to be a smart idea if you have a CV printed or a soft copy and you go to each HR person in the booth and ask them more about what are the vacancies that are open or is going to be open in the future, and give a brief presentation about yourself. Remember from the story that you have already ready for you, and take their cards and collect the cards of all the people in the place. And if you are an undergrad, you can ask them if they offer internships. This is one of the ways. Another way is to go for the companies that you know are open for internships and go and ask to meet someone in the HR field, in the HR department, sorry, and you present yourself in the company itself. And I have a story about a group of people from engineering faculty. They came to me and they asked me to give them an opportunity to go and have training in the field. And actually, I gave them this chance, and we weren't having any interns at the time because we didn't have the time, honestly, to think about interns. And when they came to me, they were a group of 10 engineers, young engineers, undergraduates, and they asked me to give them this chance. I went there and talked to the project manager, and he told me, yes, let's do this. So you're opening opportunities for yourself. We didn't have the intention, but we have seen that they are passionate, and we gave them this space. And actually, one of them is hired now in the same company. He got everything needed, and he did everything correctly, and now he's hired in this company. Another thing is using LinkedIn is you can send a message to someone that you maybe, you know that this is the person you want to approach. You can send them a very short, precise message on LinkedIn, telling them, okay, I am, my name is so-and-so, and I am an undergrad in so-and-so, and I need to see if you have intern opportunities or if we can have a quick meeting or call. Now, most people respond. Most people respond, and you can get yourself an intern through LinkedIn or any other channel that I have mentioned. Yes, Abdurrahman. Yes, this is exactly, yes. You have in petroleum engineer, you have different things that you can make use of to get an opportunity. If some companies offer us to work for apprentice after graduation, we use that kind of offer or not, ma'am? What do you mean by work for apprentice? I'm sorry, if you can explain. You mean a technical job, right? Or as an intern? Not sure. Because of Corona, all people refuses to make internships. How to deal with that? Well, because of Corona, many people are working from home now. So, but I believe people started to be more open now. Not as in the middle of Corona, everything was closed, but now they have a percent of of employees at offices. So if it's this is actually a very good question, because it affected having internships going to fields. But I believe if you can check if there's a space for a virtual internship, it's not going to be like you go to the field, but maybe to attend maybe like a lecture or something with one of the SMEs. And I believe it's going to be just decrease the amount, the number of interns going to the field, not as much as before. But it's something that's it's not in our control, so we have to deal with it. Just keep digging more, keep applying more, and you will find the opportunity if you dig deeper and you are persistent. How do I leave a good memory when I join internship? I mean, as an HR, what attracts you to a person to hire? It's a very good question, but we don't have like a secret. Okay, usually this question can apply to anything in life, not only to HR. You have to leave an impact, you have to communicate, you have to present yourself well. I don't get attracted to a specific thing and on a personal level, but you have to present yourself well. And let me tell you why I'm saying this, because everybody's appreciated as they are. If you are an extrovert, if you are an introvert, extrovert is a people who's sociable. He talks a lot. He's just outgoing. And an introvert is a person who's not necessarily into people. He prefers to stay quiet. So if I'm an introvert, I would prefer the introvert? No, not at all. At some jobs, the introvert or different skill set is appreciated, and another job, different skill set is appreciated. But overall, a good communication skills is good for every position. Good presentation skills is good for every position. So how to leave a good memory is just to be communicating. You can come and introduce yourself to me, tell me how your internship is going, give me feedback about the company, about the supervisor that's handling your intern. And by this, I remember you. And you can talk to me, just the communication. The secret is the communication, just communicate. Some companies always ask for your social media handles. Okay, I think I've answered this. And again, if I didn't answer it, if I didn't understand what do you mean by social media handles, if they ask you for the Facebook account, again, I'm not sure if this is a good company to join or not. Can we have your LinkedIn username? Sure. Okay. Can I apply for a job if I don't meet the experience requirement? This is a very good question. Thank you, Victory. I love your name. Okay. Before you apply for any job, and this we're going to talk about in the third session when we're talking about how you go for an interview. If you are applying for a job and you have a specific knowledge or experience needed or stuff like this, you have a gap, like here you are and the job, here it is, or example, here you are and this is the job requirements. You have to close the gap. And how can you do this? You already are working on yourself for all the years, but now you are a graduate and this is the job that you want to apply for. How are you going to close this gap? Some stuff is going to be in your hands, like getting maybe courses, certificates, gaining more knowledge. Okay, but experience, you have to do a hands-on experience, right? This is mainly the challenge that faces everybody. Let's say if you haven't applied for any interns and you didn't get the experience needed. I'm just giving you like a scenario. If you didn't have the chance and you didn't get any interns and you didn't get enough experience, you have to apply for a junior position. Many companies ask for junior positions for different reasons, but you will always find a place for you to apply for a junior position. Okay, you will apply for a junior position that's only needed maybe 0 to 1 year of experience, and you will start from there. But never get depressed, never give up. Maybe one of the companies only have a very strict requirement on experience, but you'll find another companies that is more flexible and offers more opportunities for juniors. But again, it's in your hands to stay persistent, to look up and have a good digging search skills to keep searching. Have alerts on your platforms to notify you when there is a junior position, and still stay on the looking for an intern, for junior position. Try to shadow with experts without money. I did this myself. I started the first very job I got as an HR. It was an intern, no money paid. I had to compromise. I had to gain the experience in any way. I had a diploma in HR. I paid for it. I needed an actual experience. So I had to compromise. So you have to be flexible about how you're gonna put yourself out there to gain the experience needed. I hope I answered your question, Victory. Is there a chance to do an intern in Egyptian companies? By the way, I'm from Algeria. Sure. Just again, check in all the companies that you're interested in if you can apply for an intern. And by the way, again, in this period of time, everything is open. Social media has connected everybody, and you can always apply for anything. So start approaching companies and ask them for you can start to approach the companies. Guys, I love your interaction, honestly, and I'm really looking forward to meet you next week with our second session on how to present yourself in a CV. And looking forward to meet you all next week with our second session. Dr. Ahmed, thank you very much for this lovely group of people.
Dr. Yusra, thank you very much. And for sure, we'll see you again next Saturday at the same time. Guys, I will ask Dr. Yusra to write you a short quiz, like maybe 10 multiple choice questions. And these questions will be posted on your Google Classroom. Thank you very much and see you Saturday.